Alright, good evening everyone. Welcome back to the Wind Waker. There we go. I've got Angel with me tonight, I guess. She wanted to come in to join. And now she's on my lap and you can see her butt and tail. So there she is. Anyway, I'm preparing. We've been doing a lot of preparing for the hurricane upcoming. To the point where I still don't know. I still have no idea, no right clue, just how severe it is going to be. And even, therefore, in particular, how seriously my university is going to take it. So I actually don't know at this point whether the university is officially canceling class on Thursday. I would guess they ultimately will. And even if they don't, I might anyway. Oh, yes. Should I? You think so, Angel? You think I should? You think you don't think I should make the kids come to class Thursday? You don't think so? Ooh. Cannon chip. Let's get out of here. Let's go. Ooh. Well, that was really close. Ah! Not the tingle tuner. Eh. Let's get out of the way of the cannon ship. And then see where to go next. So, not north. Okay. Now that we have the hook shot, though. Now that we have the hook shot, that opens up a lot of exploration. And that means that I'm just going to sail the entire Great Sea tonight. Sound good? Sounds good to me. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start in a corner, though. Yeah, let's just sail west all the way over. Then we will go... No, we won't. That's stupid. There we go. We're going to warp somewhere reasonably close to a corner of the map. How about that? And we'll do a nice little grid pattern search. Let's start at outset. That's a good enough place to start, yeah? Okay. Oh, okay. It does mean, by the way, I think... Oh, you think so? I don't think so, Angel. I think you're overreacting. There is something for me to hookshot here on outset. That palm tree over there. And something to blow up, and all kinds of fun stuff. Hey, Beetle. I'm gonna stop by your shop too. Because I have 2,700 rupees. Yet there is nothing I need. Never mind. Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, yeah, with the storm coming, like I said, I'm not completely sure what's coming up. We have everything we need. Oh God, excuse me. We have everything we need to board up all of our windows in case it gets that bad. Ooh, oh, I forgot about that effect. It makes once we power up the swords all the way, like the Master Swords of Sword, now it glows. Look, especially when you draw it. Oh, it does a little splashy flash and everything. Ah, that's so nice. I dig it. I dig it a great deal. I know, Link, you're looking up there. That is giving me a hint, is it not? Am I close enough? Yeah. Check it out. Anyway, yeah, I'm just in a sort of wait and see kind of thing. Just sort of wait and see whether the weather gets worse, you know? It's one of those things where it reasonably could be as low as a Category 1, but it could be a full-on Cat 5 Oh, right. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Yeah, Savage Labyrinth. Shoot. Oh man, this is a heck of a side quest, isn't it? I completely forgot about all this. That's it? No, there's one more. Hey, you. It's what, every 10 levels it gives you a way back up or something? Something like that. Angel, why are you twitching? Oh, is it because Turbo's here? Turbo's here to see us. Oh, fuckers. Ow. There we go. Yeah, let's go. Anyway, though, yeah, it looks like our best estimates seem to be saying, best estimates that I'm seeing at least, are saying that the hurricane will, even if it is a Cat 5 when it gets here, that's the trick. You can get hearts from them if you know. There we go. You can get hearts from them if you claw-shot them. Or grappling hook them. That's it, grappling hook. But in any case, even if it's Cat 5, most of the estimates are saying that we here, where we are, inland a bit in Florida, will likely only get Category 1 speed winds at worst. Which, to be fair, is nothing to laugh at. But it's not Cat 5. There's a big difference. There's a lot of error, so to speak, between Cat 1 and Cat 5. So it's still nothing to laugh at, despite the fact that we as Floridians are built to laugh at these sorts of things. Hurricanes are fun. But, on the other hand, it is serious, and like I said, we are prepared. We have what we need. Oh, okay, well, that's interesting. Cool. Sweet. Got him. Like I said, I went out today and I spent like $250 on plywood and screws and brackets and all kinds of stuff like that. So, like I said, we've got everything we need if we do wind up having to board up windows and things. We can do it. But I'm still hoping that we won't wind up having to. If for no other reason than doing so will eventually, even if minorly, it damages the exterior of the house, you know. And, it's nothing that's not too fixable, and it's nothing that's all that severe. But it's still something I'd prefer to avoid doing if I can avoid it, you know. Evening Dawn. Mythic Dawn. Bring it. Awesome. Did I see the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 trailer? Yes, I did. Well, unless there's been a new one in the last few days. I've not seen a new trailer since... I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago? I saw what I think is the newest trailer, but I'm not completely sure of that. Right now, I'm playing this on an emulator. I think I actually have my old GameCube somewhere. It's stored away. So I could play this on GameCube. I just don't have a capture card. I could also... I don't have the HD version of this game. I couldn't actually play it on Wii U. Also because my Wii U is broken. That's my kids, you know, they loved it, but also they did not respect it very well. I'm hoping that they will behave a little better once I get a... if and when we eventually wind up getting a Switch. We might wait till the second, whatever the follow-up is, but we're probably just going to go with the Switch. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. You little bastard. There we go. But yeah, I'm playing it on PC. I have it emulated. This is the original GameCube version, however. This is not the HD version. As you can probably tell by the aspect ratio. The aspect ratio is very boxy. What? Did I offend you? Robies. Yeah. Did you guys hear that? Did you hear the yelling? The noises this little girl is making is just God. You have the HD Wii U one, but the disc is scratched. Oh, I hate it. I will say I love physical media. Physical media is for the most part so vastly superior to digital versions of things. Especially with digital versions that have some kind of DRM. Whether that's an always online connection, whether that's a link to an account, whether that's an actual DRM, like a you need to activate it kind of thing, whatever it might be. But physical media is far more susceptible to physical damage too. So there are serious trade-offs. Now that said, I do have a functioning Wii U emulator. I am not playing the HD version because I couldn't get it working. I could not get the emulator working. Angel. I could not get the emulator working in time to start this game. So, as of right now, I'm just continuing on the original standard definition GameCube version, rather than sort of switching halfway through, trying to restart, trying to get back to where I am or something. Nah. Just gonna stick to what I'm doing. Now, Twilight Princess, which I do plan on playing next, that one I'm going to be playing the Wii U HD version. If for no other reason than it is the vastly superior version of the game. I don't know if vastly superior. But it is a marked improvement in basically every way. I don't think there's any criterion under which the Wii version or the GameCube version, for that matter, is actually better. Okay, so the oldest... Okay. I was going to ask whether you mean the first Nintendo home console I had, or the oldest I currently have. But those are actually the same answer. It's the N64. I've still got it. I don't have it in my house. I have it. It's back at my parents' old house, actually. So they have my N64. But that is the oldest one. That was the first home console I got. Oops, I should have grappling hook, whatever. That was the first home console I got, and the first and oldest Nintendo system I have. Although, wait, no. No, I got a Game Boy Color first. Honestly, I don't actually need more joy pendants, so I'm not gonna bother with the whole grappling hook thing with these guys. Well, now I need hearts, though. Hold on. Give me your hearts. There we go. There we go. Now, what that also means is that the first. Wow, those go down fast. The first Legend of Zelda game that I played was Ocarina of Time. I actually did not play any of the older ones when they came out. I went back and wound up playing them later, some of them on ports to other consoles. I think I have played all of the older Zelda games. All the games that are older than that. But I'm not actually sure. I have to really think through it and see if I'm missing any. On Philoctetes by Sophocles. Oh god. I don't remember it well enough to say for sure. I read it years ago. In a grad seminar, in the context of when we were reading a few of both Plato's dialogues, a few of Xenophanes' plays and dialogues. We read The Clouds, for instance. We're basically looking at the various social commentary dialogues and stuff. So we're looking at The Clouds, we looked at the Symposium, we looked at the Apology, we looked at dialogue. What else? We did read Philoctetes. But I don't remember well enough. The newest I have is still the Wii U, but like I said, it is currently broken. There's a problem with the gamepad. Not even sure what the problem is exactly. It's just not working properly. There's issues with the touch and motion inputs, basically. I do not have a Switch, at least yet. I've been thinking of getting one for the kids for Christmas. Briefly remind me of some of the events, themes, or ideas in the Philoctetes, and I'll see if I can. Oh, fire! hate these little, like, ticks, basically. Little sandbur ticks. Bombs, huh? I forget how low I have to go here in order to get the Triforce shard or chart. I don't even remember which it is. I think it's a shard. Actually, I think it's just a straight up shard rather than a chart. I'm not sure, though. It's been a while. It's been way too long. Interesting. Bastards. Okay. That could have been worse. I only lost one heart. Not bad. It helps having 100 arrows. What? Ah, okay. Well, there we go. Classes have been officially canceled Thursday. Did you see news officially from St. Leo? Because I actually want to check and see if I got an email or if it's just you. Now I'm really curious. Hold on. Woo. Aha. Aha. Oh. What? This email went out at 9:03 p.m. to announce that classes are canceled tomorrow. Tomorrow, okay, well, it's tomorrow through Friday. It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But, oh my god, I freaking knew they were going to do this. I didn't know they were going to do this. Oh, hello. I should have known they were going to do this. Because they do this all the frickin' time. So, alright, the reason I find this vaguely funny is, not because it's, like... This is red jelly, right? I find this funny, not because it's funny per se, but because... So St. Leo sometimes does this thing where they overcorrect for weird decisions they've made in the past. In this case, they had for several years, and this is going back quite a few years ago now, at least 4 or 5, maybe 6 years ago, they had a tendency to sort of jump the gun when it came to canceling classes for hurricanes and similar purposes. They would basically pre-announce a closure like several days in advance, and then there's a really bad tendency, because hurricanes are rather unpredictable, of what would very often happen was nothing. Like, the hurricane would just turn, or fail to turn, like it would just keep going up the Gulf or whatever, and it would miss us entirely. So we'd be closed, like the university would be closed for like 3 days. We have no classes, and um, it would just be a day with, I guess, some clouds. Okay. Could use some arrows. Thank you. Thank you for the arrows, Darknut. There we go. You got both Wii U and Switch on release day. I actually waited a few months to get the Wii U. Mostly just because there wasn't as impressive a like singular release title like there was for the Wii. Like for the Wii, I absolutely got it as soon as it came out. Because Twilight Princess, right? I got Twilight Princess with the Wii when it launched. The Wii U didn't have as exciting a launch lineup, So I waited a bit. I did wind up getting it, but it was a little bit. It was a little while. Yeah, it was easy. So Philoctetes was wounded, abandoned by Lemnos, the Greeks, on their way to Troy. The oracle ordains he return for Greek victory. Odysseus sends Neoptolemus, sorry, to deceive Philoctetes to secure his return. Okay. Okay, this is sounding familiar. I'm gonna steal your cresties. Your arrows, I guess. Ah, jeez. I'm tempted to say that the Wii is broken. That the Wii is my favorite at the moment. My favorite overall Nintendo console. It had a hell of a lineup of really, really good games. Aha. So, From what I remember of the Philoctetes, and so from what bells you're ringing here, I still don't remember a whole lot. I don't have too many thoughts on it at the moment, but it's one of those very, very many Greek myths that does a lot, that plays a lot with destiny, that plays a lot with the fulfillment of prophecy, yada yada yada, that kind of fun stuff, which I like. I like what Greek mythology, Greek dialogues, and Greek philosophy generally does with that sort of thing. I think this will work, right? Does this work? Never mind. Ah! No! No! Really? I hate these. See, I don't have a Switch yet, but I will say that I have a hard time believing that the Switch will wind up beating the GameCube for me. Oh, it does nothing. Cool. I hate that. As a fan, as a big fan of Ocarina of Time, it's hard to forget redeads. They're probably worse in this game. Because you could pretty much neutralize them in Ocarina as soon as you got the Sun Song, which is why I just tried doing that. Whap. Whap. What? Ah! I don't like this. I don't like these things. It's the spooky level. Oh, so your top three goes Wii, Switch, Wii U? Wii U, that's a controversial top three. That is a controversial top three. It's definitely not in my top three, honestly. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Alright. I still absolutely love the GameCube, and the N64 to a good degree, just for the classic lineup. Come on. That's actually probably the easiest way to kill Pose in this game, is to just let them possess you. GameCube's 4 for you. I really liked GameCube. Again, purely, if only, if for no other reason than the killer lineup of games it had. This one. The best Smash Bros. There is, there's some contest with, Brawl. Jesus. There. I know it's purely aesthetic, and I know it's just there to like tickle your happy bits, but I really like the thing that it does in Twilight Princess. The thing it does in Twilight Princess, where when you finish a fight, you do a little sword flourish. I really like that. I miss it. I'm gonna see if you have hearts. Bombs are the thing I don't need, really. Come here, bud. There we go. I still have 3 fairies, too, so I can kind of just keep going here. Workers. Oh, frick, now I'm cursed. Jesus. Damn it. There. Okay. Jeez. Anyway, so another thing, if you're following along, wait, did I actually finish? No, I didn't finish what I was saying about St. Leo. Good lord, and that was a while ago. So St. Leo started this habit of canceling classes way too early, and then hurricanes being as unpredictable as they are, basically nothing bad would happen, and we'd have canceled class for no reason. And so, in the last couple of years, they've wildly overcorrected, basically waiting until the last possible minute to decide whether to actually cancel classes or not. To the point where, tonight, at 9 p.m., it's officially announced that classes are canceled tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. Not Thursday and Friday, starting tomorrow. Like, that's kind of absurdly short notice, if you ask me. You know. I highly doubt it because it's college students, but it's at least possible that there are people who are in bed already and don't know that there's no class tomorrow. Oh, jeez. This is very bad. There. Oh, it stuns them? Ooh. That was horrid. Anyway, so despite canceling class Thursday, which does give me some more time to do things, assuming that we have power. Oh my god. Ooh. You can tell I'm focusing if I'm, like, biting my tongue, apparently. The thing I started doing. It's a weird habit I've gotten into. I have no idea why I've started doing that, but it's a relatively recent, bizarre development. Oh, that wasn't worth it. Whew. Okay. Yeah, this is getting intense. I have fairies. I still have 3 fairies. Holy hell. Are you serious? There's no... Okay, cool. Now that I have these, this will help me. Not enough. Not a good hit, but I don't think it's going to do it. Oh man, your first Zelda game with Skyward Sword. That is bizarre. I'm ancient. Go back to sleep, Mr. Zambi. Shit. Wow. That was an annoying fight. Okay, I really like the creativity here, because the difficulty of the combat is either in the precise placement of the enemies or the enemy type combinations. Oh, this one's boring. Come on. Needed that. Hey, Baze, how you doing? I am doing the Endless Dungeon, or Pseudo-Endless Dungeon. The Champions Hurdy-Durdy, whatever it's called, I forget. It's something Labyrinth. Rather difficult. Oh yeah, it's actually really cool. I love that they'll basically use whatever weapon is there. I've even seen one pick up a Deku stick. Okay. Perfect. It's not endless. It's something like 100 levels or something. It doesn't keep going forever. It does stop eventually. Oh boy. Are you kidding me? Ah, I got one hit. Are you serious? Ow. Yeah, it is beatable. It does help that I still have I have three fairies, and actually, you know what? Now is the time. It's Grandma Soup time! Also, I get an attack boost until I get hit, which I'm probably going to get hit very soon. Ooh, Baze just read Jonathan Peugeot's retelling of Jack and the Beanstalk. Cool! I have really wanted to. What is breathing fire at me? Oh, it's those factors. Okay, I see. Jeez. Jesus, okay. Okay, this was really hard. Yeah, that was quite a fight. That was quite a fight. That might actually, you might be right. That might be the last one. Bay says, I'm seeing the seeds planted, pun intended, for the next few books in the series. I haven't read any of his fairy tale retellings. I really want to. I'd really like to. They look really good, and if you agree with that, if I'm keep hearing positive assessments, then I might have to get them. I might have to pick them up. There we go. Piece of heart. Whew! We did it. The Valiant Little Traitor. I don't think I remember that one from growing up. I don't know if I ever grew up with that one. Huh. I don't know if I know that one even. Okay. Cool. Well. Alright, well now I'm able to do that. Let's keep exploring the Great Sea. What time is it? It's 9:50. In an hour. We got plenty of time. Like I said, though, now that we have the hook shot, that opens up our options for exploration significantly. Valiant Little Tailor. Why did I say traitor? Valiant Little Tailor. Oh! I think I only know the Mickey Mouse version of that one. There was a relatively classic Mickey Mouse cartoon that I think was the, well, where they first introduced Pete the Giant in that one. Who later becomes a friendly recurring character. They do that with their villains a lot. Mickey Mouse. That's sort of Mickey Mouse animated universe, if you will. Wait, hold on. What is this? Horseshoe. I think I need to go here. I don't remember. Whatever, we'll find out. We will find out. No. I actually don't think we do. No, we've already done this. Back the other way. Turn the tail and get on a hill. Unless there are a great many seagulls around, and there's a big octo for me to kill. But I don't think so. Anyway. Oh yeah, no, that's true. Most of the Dragon Ball villains turn good, or they're killed outright. I mean, it's an oddly Christian message for an anime, but a lot of animes have oddly Christian messages. Well, conversion of the enemy to the side of the good through some kind of grand revelation kind of thing, you know. It's why I say this is a Christian message in particular, because it rings very much of the Road to Emmaus kind of moment with St. Paul. Saul. Frieza is still kind of bad? I don't know. I don't know if I've... Didn't he only ever really return in Super? Which I didn't really watch. I didn't really watch Dragon Ball Super. So base is yes, there was, meaning the Mickey Mouse version. The Saints chasing Jack survived the fall to Earth at the end. They imagine their descendants will be taken out by the Tailor. Oh, interesting. So there's a close connection to Jack the Beanstalk kind of thing. Okay. Saints, or do you mean giants? I assume you mean giants. Anyway, yeah. So today we started our discussion with chapter 1 of Ralph McInerney's Ethica to Mystica. I don't know if the eye reefs are worth really looking through. Hey, Subspace, welcome. Good evening. Yeah, they're probably not. Honestly, most of them aren't. But yeah, it is a fantastic book, especially for a sort of introductory level. My first lecture on it, one of my class discussions, basically last year's recording of today's class, is already in the description right below. So if you are at all interested in sort of following along, by all means, check it out. Oh, well, there's another email. Okay, so he worked together with Goku and Super to try and save the universe, but he's still trying to kill Vegeta. Well, I mean, who can blame him? I mean, Yeah, it autocorrected. That is odd. Odd autocorrect, but I guess that's a Nephilim commentary, maybe. Sons of God, Sons of Man. I don't know. Anyway, what is that? Ooh, interesting. What? Come on. I hope they can make this. Seems unlikely. I'm probably gonna get attacked. Oh, damn it. Okay. Catch there. Go Flamingo, I actually don't even know who that is. I assume someone from after the later seasons after I really didn't really watch it. Or the later shows. It's possible too. Is that the Anubis-like god that they wind up killing together in Super? Or beating together, at least. I should go back and watch Dragon Ball. That's another one that I could go back through. Another old anime that I'd like to go back and rewatch is Record of the Lodoss War. I say that like I watched it when it came out. No, I did not. I was not born when it came out. But especially with how popular like things like Freyrin are and Delicious in Dungeon and things like that, kind of want to go back to the OG D&D anime. Oh, from One Piece. Okay. I have not watched. I've watched barely any One Piece, and I still have yet to watch the Netflix version either. But I think I know who you're talking about. Old Dragon Ball's hilarious. Yeah, no, it is. I always loved it. We me and back when I did kung fu as when I was growing up, me and my kung fu buddies would always watch it because first of all, really cool fight scenes. Second of all, really like heroic characters, super inspiring. Goku and Gohan are all both super inspiring. But then also, it's hilarious. A lot of it's really great, like 12-year-old humor. So, man, very lovable. Very lovable in that respect. Let's see what's in here. Freeze is your favorite villain? I actually... Wait, favorite villain in Dragon Ball or favorite villain in general? My favorite Dragon Ball villain is probably Vegeta. And I say that specifically, like, he's my favorite villain. I really like Vegeta as a villain. I also like him as a character in general, but I really like his I don't know, I guess you'd say his style of villainy or something? I don't know. I wonder if this is gonna work. What the hell? Okay. Yamcha used to be cool. I mean, Yamcha's still cool. I mean, as of the last stuff I watched, yeah. I like Yamcha. Oh, crap. No. Huh. Oh yeah, Roshi is a funnier Mr. Miyagi. And pervier. There's definitely that anime perviness. Huh. Okay, so how would I do this? Oh, wow. Okay, this was way easier than I thought it was. I was wildly overcomplicating things. Silly me. All right. Okay. A wooden chest. What over there? Can I fly over there or something? Okay, there we go. Okay, silver rupee. Fine. Fine. Oh. That's an entry. To... Oh? What? Why would it go there? Yeah. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Hey, Imseb, how you doing? I'm doing quite well. Busy. Tiny bit sore. I've got a lot of preparing to do still for the hurricane, which is still a coming. Yeah, we got basically we've got a what might turn out to be a Category 5 bearing down on us, so we gotta keep an eye on it and see how close it gets. Apparently, like I mentioned earlier, the university canceled classes as of like less than an hour ago now. There we go. Oh, well, come on, really? All right. Never mind then. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, we should be fine. We have made, we've made preparations enough to, what? Wrong thing. We've made preparations enough to, excuse me, to like board up windows if we wind up needing to. Which again, hopefully, we really hopefully won't need to. But Dragon Ball GT is garbage? I wouldn't call it garbage. I wouldn't call it garbage. It's... I mean, I haven't watched Super, but I would say it's probably the worst series. That doesn't mean it's garbage, though. I still enjoyed it. Not as much as the original Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, but... But I enjoyed it. Eh. Okay. Okay, nice. And we're full up. We're even fuller up, so to speak. Where to park my boat? Oops. Oh well. Oh, no, I'm not saying Super is the worst. I haven't seen it, so I can't judge. I believe you that it's not the worst. Yeah, base says good idea, sloppy execution. Yeah, that's probably about right. That's a good way of describing GT. Boating course, nah, we've done that a million times. 5-star Isles. Oh yeah, we do need to go to 5-star. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's some hookshot stuff there. I do almost wish they had made the sharks, at least, a bit more of a threat. Because if you just sail in a straight line, the sharks will never get you. The sea hats will sometimes, but not usually. Usually you can just, sail in a straight line and sea hats won't do anything, but the sharks definitely won't. Oh, that was close. I've evaded you by sailing in a straight line. Man, Octorok. Didn't see that coming. Oh, wait, there's things there. Oh my god. Okay. Ah, you're done with Dancing with the Stars for tonight. Good, welcome. Yeah. I kind of hate sea hats, honestly. They are definitely the most threatening seaborne foe. Oh, God, come on, man. Fine, whatever. Lucas says Z is the best Dragon Ball. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I agree. Imsim says, in my reading, I've discovered that despite arming and training many communist rebel groups in Africa, some eventually became official governments like Ethiopia, Angola, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique. They train their personnel and engineers to build those nations. Who's they? The KGB? Soviet-era KGB? Oh, come on. Oh, come on, man. Whatever. That was a waste of my time and effort, but whatever. It's moving on. Train personnel and engineers, build up those nations. At face value, East Germany, GDR, was not racist, but Africans who traveled there said the people were unapologetically racist. Interesting. I mean, I guess it makes sense. International communism is only international in the political sense. It's not international really in a cultural sense at all. It's culturally homogenizing. Oh, missed the things. Deliberately culturally homogenizing. Imsim says in Trident Dichotomy I want to have in my book, the East Germans make alliances with other communist groups, but only using them for their own gain while being just as racist to the Nazi faction. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. Grace says, I guess there's another debate next week, so Dancing with the Stars will be on hiatus for next week. Oh man. Is there really? Is it a presidential or vice presidential? Are we actually getting a Vance-Walz debate? I haven't heard anything about it. Super Saiyan 4 harkens back to the old Grade 8 form. Ooh, Shadow Dragon with consequences for overusing Dragon Balls. All great. Yeah, no, that's actually good. That is all true. All true, all good. Never mind. There is not anything here to do. Oops. I totally thought there would be hookshot stuff, but there's not. So much for communist equality. Well, it was always a purely political thing anyway. We all knew that. There's something going on. Oh, okay, it is Vance-Walz. I'm kind of excited about that. Yeah, Vegeta is smarter than Goku. Of course he is. Goku is not particularly smart. Never been his strong suit. Okay, so a Vance-Walz debate will be fascinating, I think. It's basically going to be a contest of who gets to call who weird the most. Because, man, that's been the entire campaign between those two so far. Vance is actually pretty quick on his feet, pretty good on issues. I think he'll do pretty well. I don't think it'll be an absolute embarrassment, like something like the Trump-Biden debate. Probably not even as bad as the Trump-Kamala Harris debate. Which was not a stellar performance by Trump, but it was good. He did a good enough job. I mean, I say he did a good enough job. I actually don't know if I would say he did a good enough job. I think he probably needed to do better from a campaign standpoint. Oh, hey, I got magic. That wasn't really helpful, though. That's it, right? Wait, why don't I have... Oh, there is a chest. It's right there. Okay, cool. Though he's aligned with Trump now, MSim says, would he have been better... Would he have been better since he's practicing Catholic? Better than Trump, you mean? Or better than RFK? I think that RFK is good, but has some very serious problems. Economically speaking, he's not good. Like he's in terms of economic policy, RFK is a disaster. He's basically a breed of socialist, which is obviously really bad. As far as also the major like basically deal breaker, as far as I'm concerned for RFK, which I mean he's not that much worse than Trump or Vance, but his position on Israel is absolutely ridiculous. He could not be a stronger supporter of Israel if he tried, and boy howdy does he try. Which, dude, like, if just one candidate, if just one candidate were to actually say even something as milquetoast as what somebody like Vivek Ramaswamy was saying, like that, you know, Israel has our support. They're the only democracy in the Middle East. They're an ally. Blah 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 blah. But we're not going to support them. They're going to deal with their own problems. Even if someone were bold enough to say that, which is like as milquetoast as you can get. First of all, they might be literally killed by AIPAC. But even barring that, like they would get so much immediate support because that is a completely unspoken to demographic. You know, people who have concerns about what's happening in Gaza. What should a practicing Catholic stance be on Israel? I don't know if Catholicism per se is the real factor to decide anything. Really, it's a matter of ethics, right? Straightforwardly, it's... Oh gosh, excuse me. Straightforwardly, Israel is committing like an array of war crimes. Like basically as we speak. No, that's not gonna work. Yeah, Israel is committing a constant array of war crimes. And I've already done this. Jews and Muslims fighting, Christians caught in the middle. I mean, yeah, maybe. It's another one of those things where, yeah, there's a big war going on. Not even a big war. There's a moderately sized war going on. And both sides are committing heinous war crimes. Sure, we could quibble about who started it and all that, but I think that that's, generally speaking, like, geopolitically immature. It doesn't necessarily matter who started it, or as much who started it, if both sides are constantly in the process of committing heinous war crimes. Like, that matters. That matters far more than how the conflict was initiated. And even the question of who initiated the conflict goes way back further than you know most are willing to admit. Especially most Zionists and pro-Zionists are willing to admit. Or here's the other thing. A lot of pro-Zionists will do this whole, well, the land belongs to Israel because it historically belongs to the Jewish people, and since it belongs to the Jewish people, that means it belongs to modern Jews. And I'm just like, okay, that's, first of all, not at all how property claims work. Right? You can't just claim that because I share a religious identity with people who lived here 2,000 years ago, that suddenly I can kick the people who live there out of their homes. That's completely ridiculous. I'd be in favor of a ceasefire? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like anything, okay, almost anything that means people can stop dying is preferable to the current situation. So there you go. I'm in favor of ceasefire. I'm in favor of, I don't know if I'm in favor of a two-state solution per se. A two-state solution is better than the current status quo. I'll say that. I don't know if it's the ideal solution. Part of the problem is, I think, especially Americans, and especially American evangelicals, but Zionists in particular, are obsessed with not just having this nation state, which is, you know, a safe haven for Jews, in the wrong place, because that's not a place to put a safe haven for Jews. Come on. But then also, like, what's this? Fairy Island. All right, let's check it out next. I'm fundamentally an anti-statist. I'm an anarchist. I think that any state is going to do terrible things to its people and probably to its neighbors too. And so, yeah, if we had a two-state solution, excuse me, the two states would probably be tyrannizing their own people and trying to kill each other. So it would only improve things so much. But yeah, ImpSimp, one-state solution, give it to the Vatican. Yeah, Christian Kingdom of Jerusalem. That's probably the best practical solution, and I'm not even joking. Like, not even memeing. That might just be the best practical solution. I mean, because seriously, Catholics, and particularly the current pontificate, are some of the least politically bellicose in the world, including not just presently but historically. So, yeah, I think that if there's any chance for peace around in the Holy Land, the Christian Kingdom of Jerusalem might be it. I don't know, man. It's a serious thought. I mean, and I know a lot of people joke about it, but I actually do think that it might be a viable solution. I already did this. Oh yeah. For hundreds of years, Muslims and Jews in the region were not just actively killing each other. No, they weren't. It was, I mean, there was there and very often, like, to be fair, very often, the Jews were persecuted in the region and elsewhere. That's true, but not on the level that we're seeing now, because of the nation state of Israel. Should the answer be when Arabs and Jews realize their brothers to need to love each other as Jesus taught? I mean, look, peace will come to the world when the world is Christian. There you go. There. I've solved the world's problems. Now if only we could do it. Okay, so I'm an anarcho-monarchist, strictly speaking. I've got an article on it. Wait, did I do this already? I did this already, didn't I? Didn't I? I don't remember if I did this already. Yeah, I did. Okay. Ah! No, thank you. I've not been watching Technoblade. I know what you're talking about, though. It's been a long time. Wait. No? Okay. Well, not here. Yeah, Tolkien said that I'm an anarchist in the political sense, not in the sense of whiskered men with bombs. He's an anarchist in the sense, as close as I can paraphrase the letter. He says that he's an anarchist in the sense that we need to remember that governments are just people, and that we should start referring to them as such. Right? We should start referring to George and his gang, or Churchill and company, or whatever, rather than saying the British government or whatever, or the Crown. That if we think of these governing people as individuals, suddenly things become ethically a lot more clear, because the things that governments do are obviously immoral if anyone else does them. So that's, I think, a great little bit from Tolkien. I'm a monarchist in the sense that I think that humans naturally desire hierarchies in some way. That there are such things as natural hierarchies. That democracy is superior, or sorry, that monarchy is superior to democracy, as Hoppe points out. But also that a proper monarch cannot rule in the statist sense. They can only rule by what is essentially by example of virtue or by suggestion. I've got like I said, I've got a piece on it. I'll share in the description in Discord. Yeah, so check back after the stream. You'll see it there. I'll put it in philosophy, the philosophy channel in Discord. Oh. I have to interpret that chart. Ah. That'll do. Yeah. Imzib asks, what would you say if decades from now you're canonized a saint and people go back and watch this and see how a saint talks? I would say, and this is for you in the future, that I am not a saint yet. I am in the process, just like you should be, and that it is a long process. It is a lifelong process of being sanctified and made Christ-like, and that I am only a step along the way as we stand. So that's what they should see when they go back and ask, okay, what was a saint like in life? Aside from that, I hope that they determine that perhaps I have something wise to say from time to time, but also I'm just a fun loving kind of guy. I hope that I hope that they see joy. That's what I hope they see. But yeah, I do think that that's something to think about. I mean, anything historical, right? That people can, in fact, go back and look at look at people from the past, people who have passed away a long time ago. Currently, the difference now is that nearly everyone will have a significant digital fingerprint or digital footprint, unless you decide to assassinate Donald Trump, in which case apparently you've never been on social media before in your life. Yeah, okay. Um, yeah, let's all pretend to believe that. Huh. Interesting. Oh, this is where I get the ghost ship chart. Okay, this is what I was thinking of. Go away, hand. Markiplier asked, aren't there thought-wise warring factions of Christians against themselves too? I don't quite understand the thought of the world being at peace when it's fully Christian. So I actually have a lot to say about this. That yes, Christians are in theological conflict with one another. We obviously disagree to a significant extent. And yes, Christians have fought each other, but mostly for not for sectarian, but rather for political reasons. If you actually look into the history of it, and a relatively unbiased, or as unbiased as you can find history of it, you'll find that even the so-called wars of religion were not really sectarian conflicts, so much as they were early political conflicts. They were the birth of the nation state, which, in a lot of cases, used religion as an excuse for fighting. But you'll also find, like, if you look at it very carefully, like, historically speaking, you will find that these allegedly religious and sectarian conflicts were, they had co-religionists on either side of the conflict. That they did not break along denominational lines or anything like that. The best book I recommend on the subject is called The Myth of Religious Violence by William Cavanaugh, which, again, I will link the book, a review of it, and a talk, a review I wrote of it, as well as a talk that Kavanaugh gave about the subject of the book. So it especially gets into this myth that these wars of religion originated from Christians getting into sectarian conflicts with one another, which is, again, untrue. Right? It's not actually how it worked. That's not what happened. Rather, roughly speaking, the nation state formed. And with the formation of the nation state, we had the possibility of warfare on a much larger scale than we had previously throughout the Middle Ages. And so these large and constant wars. Oh man, sent back to the beginning. Okay, damn it. All right, these constant wars were largely a result of the formation of the nation state. And once you see the nation state form, you start seeing these wars being more and more widespread and larger scale. How this happens is essentially that you, or then this gets all these conflicts get religion gets blamed for them. Now this is, and the myth goes that, well, the nation state came in to smooth out these sectarian conflicts, these purely interdenominational conflicts that are only about theology or yada yada, whatever. And this is essentially the origin myth, the foundational myth, the foundational myth for the modern nation state. And so if you pop this bubble, if you burst this myth, if you dispel this myth, then what you wind up with is come on, really? What you wind up with is undermining the legitimacy of the modern nation state. Which, by the way, Kavanaugh does not go... My review of his book is essentially he does not go far enough in that direction. Unfortunately. I wish he did. But he does not. He doesn't go to the point of saying that, well, this undermines the legitimacy of the modern nation state. He says that, well, if we were to follow this reasoning all the way through to its course, then there would be a danger of illegitimizing the modern nation state. And so the nation state, the sort of the status quo, wants to avoid going down this route because otherwise it would be dangerous for the status quo. He does not follow this through. He says if A, then B, A, and then he just doesn't quite want to say B, because boy howdy would that be controversial. And it would lead to all sorts of political results that I don't think he wants to go so far as to contemplate, or at least go so far as to outrightly state. See, that's the thing. Okay, so you say this is how the Northern Irish troubles started outside of the mass displacement of native Irish Catholics and English settler Protestants. So you basically say, is this how the situation started outside of how the situation started? Because it really just was basically the settlement issue. Not entirely, but basically it was the settlement issue. And so if you try and set that aside and say, well, wasn't it just a sectarian issue between Catholics and Protestants? What you're doing is you're just essentially setting aside sort of ex hypothesis what the real issue was. Go ship chart, go soup chart, go soup chart, please. All right, here we go. Nice. Whee! Budded. Lego. By the way, I am tonight. First of all, I had a root beer float. It's always nice. But now I'm drinking an Elysian Punkachino. Coffee pumpkin ale. Which does not do the cop-out of just being sort of pumpkin spice, that is to say coffee flavor with melon spices. It is a nice little cream ale, and it has a bit of like that squashy kind of pumpkin flavor to it, not just the kind of the traditional European sweet spice blend, that we think of as pumpkin spice. All right, let's go north. Hello again, Angel. Would you like to come sit on my lap again? Don't scratch my shirt. You have a shirt there. No. No. Anyway. I will say, I know that we have a bit of a book club going on in our Discord server, and I know that it's focused on fiction. I know right now we're reading The Hobbit, then we're going to be reading The Silmarillion and The Lord of the Rings. I don't know what order, because one of the guys in there has not read either, or basically forgot everything that he read from The Lord of the Rings and really only knows the movies, and even those not too well. Oh, excuse me. Oh, never mind. And so we're sort of debating whether once we finish The Hobbit, we should go just straightforward into Lord of the Rings like a normal person would, or if we should run an experiment with this guy and see what it would be like to read the Silmarillion first before reading the Lord of the Rings. It might be really cool. It might be a really cool experience. I'd be curious to know. But I don't know. We haven't decided yet. But that said, I am also. I'd love to get some get a couple of reading groups or book clubs going for some nonfiction stuff as well. My first and foremost recommendation, something that I'd really like to discuss together with a group of fairly like-minded and reasonably academically minded, but maybe not even necessarily professionally academic friendos, internet people, would be Kavanaugh's The Myth of Religious Violence. I think it's a phenomenal book. It does a great job looking through history and a great job looking through the sort of theoretical frameworks that a particular historical narrative depends upon, you know? So, I think it's an absolutely great read. But yeah, it would definitely be one that I would really love to read together as a group. I thought about doing another playlist of just me sort of gradually reading through it and talking about it, but it's longer. It's much longer than what I've done that sort of thing for before. And I don't know. I don't know if I like the format that I've used before in terms of the book club or the reading group lecture series that I did on a section from Duns Scotus. Horflower says, I'd love to get there, but I didn't grow up reading Tolkien and didn't have any of the audiobooks on hand. And as in that frame, I'd actually love to read that and have people chat about it. Absolutely. There's a thread in the media channel. Feel free to join it. You should be able to see it. You should be able to just go through threads and just pop in and see what's up. We mostly discuss Monday nights. Yeah, Monday nights. Oh, excuse me. God. Yeah, we usually discuss Monday nights, so 8:30, 9 o'clock, depending. We're taking The Hobbit very quickly. We're doing like 3 or 4 chapters a week. And so we've got 2 more weeks of The Hobbit left. And then we'll be starting either The Silmarillion or The Lord of the Rings. And we'll decide which. I don't know. We'll see. We got 2 weeks. Well, less now. Franklin Island. Wait. No. Just the pedestal. The gem. Ooh. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna go all the way to midnight. What I should do is actually figure out which islands I can use the hookshot to get stuff on. Rockspire, Tingle, Northern Triangle Island. Actually, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go to Tinkle Island. I'm gonna decode my next Triforce chart. Starbelt. Okay, second part about the nonfiction one, Myth of Religious Violence, super interesting. Yeah, no, it's really interesting. I read it in a graduate level religious studies seminar a few years ago, and it does so much to change your outlook on early modern history, a period which is deeply, deeply mythologized in our culture. Early modernity is sort of the foundational period for our current culture in the West in general, but especially in the Anglosphere. Like, we see the Renaissance as kind of the rebirth of our culture, so to speak, and we think that we are in some way contiguous with ancient Rome, which is a bizarre myth, again, invented in the late 19th century, mostly by the sort of Victorians, really. So it's the book is about exploding a lot of those myths and looking also at sort of problematizing. I hate that word, but yeah. But yeah, it problematizes the concept of religion in a way, right? By pointing out that what we mean by religion is not anything precise or concise or particular enough, and so to say that religion is a cause of violence is to just attribute the name religion to causes of violence in society. That's basically a large part of his thesis, which you find, right? You really do find this, particularly. He was writing this at the sort of tail end of the Bush era. So looking at the global war on terror and things like that, we see this thing where we see ourselves as, excuse me, kind of like enlightened secular society. And therefore our violence is rational and justified. Whereas the Muslim world's violence is based on religion and is therefore irrational and irreconcilable. So that's another important use of this myth. So all these sorts of things. Again, I think it is a brilliant book with a lot of insight into the modern world and the history of the modern world. Okay, I would like to decode a chart, please. I'm not doing all the voice for this guy. I think I may have done enough Tingle voice for you guys. All right, cool. Your two favorite codependent topics: concept of religion and politics around it. Yeah. Yeah, it's very. It does a very good job of not exactly distinguishing between politics and religion, but by showing that the concept of religion is too fuzzy of a concept to try to link it to something like political violence. 5-star. Or wait, star belt thing. Oh, it just shows me. Okay, cool. Let's just go over there then. Let's see if we can do the ghost ship before tonight's over. How about that? Southwest or southeast. Sorry, northwesterly. Let's have the wind be northwesterly. Firefly says probably something better answered in Discord, but how much of modern religious thought and conceptualization informs politics? Honestly, very little. So, oh, okay, wait, hold on. It depends on what you mean by religion. So, you could make an argument that something like communism, or something like wokeism, or something like nationalism, or something like um, hell, Americanism, which is a condemned heresy by the church, by the way. Something like those. You could say that those things are religions, or at least are religious. And if you're going to say that they are religious, then yeah, absolutely, they inform politics. But that just means that there is no proper, careful line between politics and religion, which I actually think is rather plausible. I think that that's probably correct. Um, Now, beyond that, if you were to say, if you're to restrict the term religion to just the sort of ordinary, everyday thing that we mean by religion, as vague as that concept is, then, well, in part, I think that our conception of religion is kind of bad. Because our conception of religion includes everything that has anything vaguely to do with any how would I put it? How would I put this? Ah, God, really? Wow. Fascinating. That's quite a fight. It was a good one. Good one. Anyway, though, I think that our conception of what we call religion or religious discourse is far too. This is actually another point Kavanaugh makes. In fact, is I don't want to be too disparaging about this, but he is. So it's far too Protestant. We think of religion as a set of propositions that have to do with things that have to do with God, or things that are things that have to do with Scripture, or things that have to do with something in Scripture, or something like that. That's what we think of in terms of religion. We think of religion as propositional first and foremost, as a set of beliefs, rather than a set of practices or a relationship to the divine. Now, if we think of religion in terms of our particular relationship to the divine, then yeah, maybe religion doesn't have that much influence on politics, because it probably doesn't, because I don't think most people take religion all that seriously. We don't have a very serious relationship with the divine, at least not most of us, and most of the time. Now, some of us do, and some of us do at least some of the time. but I don't know if for most people that particular relationship or that particular set of practices and rights and relations and attitudes, I guess. Um, I don't know if that has too much of a political influence or influence on how we act politically. Now that said, if we broaden that out to be, religious propositions, propositions are about, say, theology, I think that also doesn't have that much of a political impact either. Again, because I don't think that most religious, or maybe we should say theological, conclusions don't really have much of a political dimension. However, if we include religion to include ethics which are derived from or backed by theological claims, let's say, then yeah, obviously, yes, religion does, at least for some people, people who take religion seriously, it does have an impact on political outlook. Maybe not as much as it should, because maybe we don't take religion too seriously. But for a lot of people, yes, it does in that case. But that just means, all that is to say is that politics is just a. Excuse me. It's just an ethical endeavor. I tend to define politics as the intersection of ethics with economics. Right? That is, practically speaking, what politics, or the study of politics, or the practice of politics is. It is the intersection of ethical science with economic science. Economic science meaning the study of human action on an aggregate or macro scale. Ethics being what ought to be done, broadly speaking. Excuse me. Broadly speaking. Let's go back to Windfall and see if there's anything else for auction. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I have time. I can do it tonight. I want to do the trading quest. Let's sail to Windfall first, so I have time to look this up. Because I gotta look it up. I'm not going to be able to just sort of figure this out. It's all over the Great Sea. Okay. Bomb Island, F5. Okay. A, B, C. 1, 2. It's right near Tower of the Gods. How'd I do, Grace? Is that a decent enough answer? Because I know it's not exactly a full answer. Just because, I mean, I don't know that I can give a full answer to the questions, because I think that our the terms used are maybe a little vague, something like that. So as a sort of, to summarize, spiritual, not religious type, at least growing up, you see politics as a false deity. Yeah, it absolutely can be. Politics can be, and often is, an idol. Or I don't know if I would say politics. I would say the the abstract object of the maybe the community or maybe the state, but more likely or more like the state than the community or like the polis. It's more like the state, right? The state and political action is very often idolatrous, right? And I think you're absolutely right about that. And Kavanaugh points it out in another book of his called Migrations of the Holy, which is a really good one as well, that points out how just how idolatrous statism can be, broadly speaking, and how we've moved a lot of our religious iconography and ritual from worship of God to worshiping the state. And our acts of worship of the state are, well, think about it. He proposes this question. Kavanaugh does. What do you think would be more likely to inspire violence? In other words, to get somebody to violently stop you or to violently retaliate against you. If you were to stomp on a Bible or a crucifix or a national flag. Yeah. Right? We are, I mean, taxes. Taxes are, okay. Taxes aren't exactly worshiping the state because they're not voluntary, right? Now, if you are voluntarily paying taxes, if you're going out of your way to pay taxes and you're not trying to avoid them or wouldn't try to avoid them if you thought you could, then yeah, then maybe. Then maybe. But it's hard to say that something is an act of worship if it is quite literally coerced, right? When you have no practical choice in the matter. I will say that, oh wow, hello, that's interesting. I didn't see that coming. Cool. That's fascinating. Totally didn't see that coming for some reason. So I don't know if taxes quite would qualify as a kind of worship, if only because they're involuntary. Right? There certainly are acts of worship associated with the state. Stuff like what's it called? The Pledge of Allegiance, right? There would be such a container. Okay, good for him. The Pledge of Allegiance is this creepy American thing that we do, which all of our school children every morning make an unbiblical oath to an inanimate object, essentially a symbol of the nation state that takes the form of a piece of cloth. So voting, probably. I don't know if I would say that it's an act of worship, but it might be. It's certainly an act of. It's certainly equivalent to prayer, which I don't know if it is. If it is worship per se, right? But it's certainly, like I said, an act of prayer. It works in exactly the same way. You are singularly petitioning your God for. Ooh, that's cool. I like that one. You're singularly petitioning a god, in this case, small g god, to do something for you. And also, it has equal, if not probably, honestly, a lot less likelihood of actually fulfilling the outcome that you want it to. Merchant's Oath, nice. All right, cool. Now we're going to sell those flags in Windfall. Awesome. I like them. They're actually really cool. A pirate ship? Oh, no, that's just a raft. Cool. Can I pick this up? Oh my god, I'm so strong. Can't believe that's strong. Yeah, the Pledge of Allegiance is really culty. Um, especially once you learn that um, the only two countries that regularly pledge allegiance to their flag, or that do a daily pledge, particularly for children, like school children, are the U.S. And the DPRK, that is the Democratic People's Republic of North Korea, or not of North Korea, but technically they don't call themselves North Korea, but North Korea. North Korea is the only other country that does a regular pledge of allegiance to their flag, or to their dear leader, or does a daily pledge of allegiance. That's America, or the United States particularly, and North Korea. Yeah, that's culty. It's gonna be difficult. This is timed, isn't it? Thanks. Yeah, I've been told that Canada has a Pledge of Allegiance, but that it's not like every day. It's not regular. It's not the kind of thing that school kids will do every day. Every morning they'll pledge allegiance to their flag or whatever. I've been told Canada has one, but that's not like. It's not nearly as culty, basically from what I found. That didn't help me at all. Huh. Dude, what do I do here? Oh, so you don't even... Okay, you don't even know of a Canadian pledge. Okay, that's cool. Oh, wow, that was fascinating. How little that worked. Oh, frick. I mean, oh yeah, you have a national anthem. Oh, Canada. That's... But, again, as far as I know, literally every nation has a national song. Every modern nation state has a national song, as far as I know. So I don't think that's particularly weird. But a daily Pledge of Allegiance is a really almost uniquely American thing. Or I guess I should say it's unique to countries that essentially worship their state. Like I said, the DPRK is, like, obviously, literally culty. They're literally a cult. They literally worship their dear leader. And again, I literally worship their dear leader. Not like, oh, they have a great deal of respect for their leader and stuff. Not any of the cringy stuff that us libertarians say about how, oh man, you know, it's kind of weird that we've got pictures of presidents up on the walls of elementary school classes and stuff. Which, okay, fine, it's a little weird, but like, obviously that's not worship, right? Sure, it's a weird amount of respect for a bunch of basically criminal psychopaths, but at the same time, it's educational to some degree. Yeah, it's a weird amount of respect for a bunch of psychopaths, but you know what? It's not that weird. It's not nearly as weird as the Pledge of Allegiance. Nice. Oh, all right, whatever. All right, I need to go back to Great Fish. I have no idea what that's a reference for. More the FLDS, and I love Warren Jeffs. It sounds super familiar. I should know who you're talking about, I'm sure. I'm sure I should know who you're talking about. Is that a Mormon thing? Like LDS? Okay, Fundy Mormons. Oh, that group of Mormons, the actual polygamous ones, right? Something like that. Warren Jeffs, is that their current prophet or something? I don't remember. Imsep might know this. Probably will know this. Where is it? Wait. Alright. Let's get the wind blowing southeasterly. Find that Goron. I'll say though, Mormons, for all their political virtues, and they have them, do have a tendency to idolize the U.S. government in particular. A lot of it has to do with the very common Mormon belief. I don't think this is official doctrine or anything, but the very common Mormon belief that the founding documents of the U.S. were divinely inspired. Which strikes me as, like, obviously silly, but I don't know. Like, divinely inspired on the level or close to the level of scripture. Their dear leader married many underage girls and did YouTube inappropriate things to them. Yeah. Once again, a terribly and unfortunately common practice among charismatic cult leader types. And, funny enough, speaking of our previous topic, a dangerously common trend among political leaders as well. Basically, once you obtain enough power, you start diddling kids. Tolkien was right about power, at least. Mother and Child Isle. All right, let's go north, because I can't warp to Mother and Child. Oh yeah, P. Diddler recently. Mm-hmm. I mean, just look at either the Epstein Island phenomenon or the the historical example, the go-to historical example would be um, the Roman emperors in their private villas, especially like the early Augusti, I guess you'd call them, the emperors who shortly followed Augustus Caesar, um, Tiberius, Nero, Caligula, those folks. Tiberius first of them, um, who had an island villa of Capri and would do horrible, unspeakable things to all the various the children of important Roman citizens and politicians and senators and things. Um, yeah, it was deeply disturbing. Uh, if you're interested, I have talked about it before. Um, it basically involves Emperor Tiberius Caesar and his what he called his little minnows, because he would sit in the pool and his little minnows, these fish, yeah, definitely fish, would nibble around his nether regions, and he would greatly enjoy this. They're fish though. This definitely wasn't children. It was fish. Wink. Anyway, but yeah, it's the kind of thing that, and I've talked about this before as well, especially in the context of like Plato predicted all of this like almost to a T. That when you become a mad tyrant, when you obtain enough power, when you obtain practically unlimited power, you'll run out of good, wholesome, and helpful things to want, and so all you'll have left to desire and to pursue are, the horrifying aberrations, things that you could never and should never want to pursue. But because you've already obtained basically everything else you could want, you have no you have nothing else to pursue. So you basically just you pursue the deranged stuff, the twisted, the psychopathic, the sick. Hey bud, like this? I No. Here. You want? There's too many good memes, but Diddy right now. Yeah, it's true. That is the simplest one. That is the simplest one. P. Diddler. I've seen a bunch. Here. Now I can give this to you. Here you go. That's a fountain idol, right? Big sale! Yeah. Yeah, that's a good deal. Alright, back to Bomb Isle. Then back to Great Fish. Then back to Mother and Child. Oh my god. I know, I know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I actually try and do the whole the Deku Tree quest? Because it's a whole thing, and it's actually relatively difficult, but not for fun reasons. It's difficult because you have to, sail between a bunch of places in very, very quick sequence, without warping. It always struck me as tedious. I don't know. I wasn't planning on actually doing it, but maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I will. It might give me a good chance to just sort of sail and chat if I want to do that. At least that. I don't know. I'll think about it. Not tonight. Certainly do not have time tonight. Okay, off to Bomb Island we go. I may actually go to midnight, I guess. I wasn't gonna, but man, there's a lot of sailing in this one. Um, Oh yeah, then of course we have to fill all of the empty sockets around Windfall Island with these statue thingies. So yeah, we'll get around to doing that next week. Next week. Tell you who is also a good resource on the sort of I guess you'd say the idolatry of statism is a guy actually a guy I know from college who does a I guess talk radio show, I guess you call it. He does syndicated radio and then also podcast type stuff too. Named David Gornowski. He's studied a bunch of primarily his main sort of academic interest is René Girard, the 20th century theologian. Cool, love it. And he Girard is huge on scapegoat theory, social scapegoat theory, and how it applies to religion and religious practice and religious history, and looking at the religious history of the scapegoating practice, which is absolutely ancient, both pagan and Jewish, and then as it becomes Christian. The practice of the scapegoat, like the word scapegoat, comes from the sacrificial goat that we put our sins onto, and then great fish. We put our sins onto, and then either chase out of town or just sacrifice and kill, as a way of purging ourselves, purging our society of our sins. In any case, it's a fascinating topic, and he's a fascinating guy. He kind of ties almost everything back to this idea. He's one of those kinds of thinkers. He has a hammer, and so he finds a lot of nails to hammer in. It's not that he makes every problem look like a nail; it's that he finds a whole lot of nails where we would otherwise maybe have trouble finding them. Yeah, he's great. And he talks a lot about the whole sort of idolatry of the state. I mean, there's also, just in general, there's a lot of Christian libertarians and Christian anarchists who take the matter very seriously. Ooh. Yeah, I will. I'll put a link to some of his recent stuff, and then some of his older stuff. He had my favorite interview with David Bentley Hart. So if you're familiar with David Bentley Hart, he's an Orthodox theologian who is, politically speaking, basically a syndicalist, but more along the socialist side of anarcho-syndicalism. He did such a good interview, and he picked apart Hart's political theology. Really, really thoroughly deconstructed it. Kind of pissed him off too, which is always fascinating to see. This mild-mannered academic Orthodox guy with a gigantic beard getting rather angry. Orthodox Christian, Eastern Orthodox. I'll see if I can find that interview in particular. It was really good. Now that is to say, I actually have a lot of respect for Hart on a lot of things, but not on politics and not on soteriology. That is through your salvation. Um, so Hart was an excellent ally against the new atheists of the mid noughties through early onesies, roughly. Um, he was one of the best voices and made some of the best arguments, polemical arguments, but some of the best arguments nonetheless, um, against the new atheists back, 10 to 15 years ago. But on a lot of his own things that he talks about, not against anybody, but the ideas he comes up with himself, he is first of all a universalist, in the sort of originist mode of apokatastasis. That is to say that he doesn't just think that all men will be saved. He thinks that all things, all creatures, that meaning all men, all the whole world, including the fallen angels, the devils, the demons, will ultimately be saved. Which is, you couldn't get more contrary to scripture than that. I'm sorry, that's not right. And so he gets into. He also has some of the worst tendencies of Eastern Orthodoxy, where he's almost afraid of precise definitions. He doesn't want things carefully defined and wants things to be, general and mysterious, which is again a really bad tendency among the Orthodox. I mean, not just the Orthodox, but the Eastern Christians in general. They have a bad tendency towards doing that sometimes, and Hart is a good example of it. Then, politically, again, he's rather leftist in his politics, almost dangerously so. So, yeah, he gets a lot of stuff wrong, and he has a tendency to be rather mean about it, and so he gets into fights with other rather squabbly theologians, like Ed Feser. He and David Bentley Hart and Edward Feser, both great voices in the anti-New Atheist movement, have gotten into countless academic squabbles back and forth in articles, on blogs, and in videos and talks and lectures, all kinds of things. They've been at each other a lot, very often, and it's immensely entertaining. Because, like I said, I really like what Hart has had to say about the New Atheists, but I mostly really love what Feser has to say about philosophical theology more generally. Although he has a kind of current academic obsession with capital punishment, and he's kind of obsessed with demonstrating that capital punishment is not only just, intrinsically just, but also in other words, that it isn't intrinsically unjust, but that it is appropriate under common current circumstances. He's a very ardent defender of capital punishment, which is a weird hobby horse to get onto, but it's because of the Pope's statements from a couple of years back about how there basically are no present circumstances under which capital punishment is morally licit, which is a prudential judgment, and I don't know if I quite agree, but I'm very close. Very, very close. Okay, so this is going to be controversial, and especially given perhaps recent events, but I think that capital punishment can only be justly applied when there is no other way for the perpetrator to be prevented from going on to do further grievous harm. And so there are cases where, murderers and rapists and things are very likely to go on to reoffend, and they cannot be reasonably stopped by imprisonment. Now, that's really uncommon. in today's society. Usually we can stop people with imprisonment. The only other case I can think of are people with are the politically connected. People who could not reasonably be stopped from reoffending because they are so politically connected, and they nice. Basically, they can get away with whatever the hell they want because they're politically connected. This means current and ex-politicians. It means people with close political connections, anything like that. Buy a couple of those. A couple of these. Oh, my bag's full. Okay. Cool. No, it's not. I can only carry 3 at a time. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? That's horrible. The Williams case in Missouri. Remind me, which is this? What? No. I guess I'm basically just going to do this for the next 15 minutes. There we go. My bag can only carry 3 at a time. Drives me insane. There's none here in the courtyard? That's weird. Marcellus Williams. He's unjustly convicted, even though there's definitive DNA evidence that he didn't do what he's convicted of on death row, but was still executed. I'm not actually completely sure. I know the case. I'm trying to think of the details. I'm trying to remember exactly what the details are. Because I know the case. Was he the one who was... Oh shoot, what was it? Like he was accused of, like, conspiracy to commit murder at some point or something. I'm trying to remember. I will say that... that cases like that, where we have convictions that are overturned, right? Convictions, particularly for death row inmates, that are either overturned or clearly should be overturned but aren't. There are cases like that are really good reasons for generally disfavoring capital punishment. I don't think that the capital punishment should be the usual thing to do for almost any crime. It should only be given under extenuating circumstances. So, yeah, I don't think that... I think cases like that, especially because execution is by its very nature permanent, that means that there is no chance for appeal, there's no chance for... there's no chance for appeal, there's no chance for discovering what happened. It needs to only happen if first of all, if there's absolute certainty. But then also, again, if there is no other way to prevent the criminal, I won't even say the accused, but to prevent the criminal from reoffending. If there's some reasonable way to prevent the criminal from reoffending that does not involve their execution, then we should pursue that means. Always, never circumstance. Because again, I think that capital punishment can only realistically be justified through the principle of double effect. That the direct intentional killing of a human being, even a guilty human being, is still murder. If what you are doing, if your action is to prevent some horrible thing from happening, and the only way of doing that is to kill someone who's about to do it, that can be acceptable. But that is a really niche case that only occurs when you know that when you have moral certainty that they will reoffend, and that so moral certainty that they will reoffend, and then also that there is no non-lethal way of preventing them from reoffending. Okay, interesting question. Impsimp asks, is the role of lover distinct from spouse? People think of lovers as an adulterous affair, but I've seen in films people refer to a person as my husband, my best friend, my lover. Lover just means, as far as I understand it, person you are romantically attached to, usually sexually, or in a sexual relationship with. So it is let me put it this way, it is a broader term than spouse, but ethically speaking, should not be broader in application than spouse. The only just and appropriate lover is to have is one's spouse. A lover does not necessarily refer to an adulterous relationship, even though it often does, or a fornicating relationship, right? So, in a lot of cases, the one's lover is a way of referring to one's boyfriend or girlfriend in a sexual relationship. It usually carries the connotation of secrecy as well. Usually when you refer to a lover, you're referring to somebody who with whom the relationship is not, official, right? Usually, but not necessarily. That is, like I said, that's the connotation, not the denotation. That is not what it means, that's what it usually includes or usually implies. So, that is my best understanding. Wait, is that it? Did we place all of them? Did I just waste money on these three? Oh no. Joyce Volunteer Association. Yeah, I think I put them all, didn't I? Yay, I got them all! Hooray, we did it! Alright, cool. Awesome. Can I sell these back? Yes, fine, sir. Why not? Oh, I can put some inside the auction house. That's right. That's right. Inside the auction house. Have my wife and I ever referred to each other as lovers, either to each other or to friends and family? It does sound too vague. I don't know. To me, it sounds a little cringe, honestly. I don't know why. Maybe it's. Oops. Maybe it's like overly emotive or something. I don't know. There's something about it that just seems not disingenuous, but maybe disingenuous. Maybe more like that it seems like I said, it usually means something secretive, which no. Or too vague, maybe. I don't know. It's like I said, I just generally speaking, I don't think the sound of it is yeah, I don't know. Ipsum says, in college I had a pregnant professor who mentioned having a partner. We assumed she was in a lesbian relationship. Turns out she was in a straight relationship, but to appeal to the LGBT crowd, she used partner to make it feel as broad as possible, but ended up causing confusion. Yep, that happens. 100%. I just assume that anybody who refers to someone as their partner is either gay or a cowboy. That's it. Those are your options. Anything else, just say what you mean, man. Just stop being like that. Grace says, sounds like something my dad, who's getting close to 60, would say in reference to his girlfriend. Yes. Okay, yes, it really does. That's why it's cringe. It's a boomerism. I think it's a boomerism. But then again, maybe it's not a boomerism exactly. Maybe it's just melodramatic, because the most recent instance of the word lover being used in that way I can think of that I came across was in Legacy of the Force. I'm currently reading, which one is it? Sacrifice. Which, if you know the series, you know what happens at the end of this book. Anyway, but before that though, Jason Solo, the Sith in training, and son of Han and Leia, basically the original version of Kylo Ren, the EU version of Kylo Ren. No, adultery should not be punishable by death. That's ridiculous. Fun fact: being a fan of the Dallas Cowboys makes you gay. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, so Jason Solo refers to Tenel Ka, the Queen Mother of Hapes, with the mother of his child, as his lover, and I'm just like, oh man, dude, you're being weird. You're being weird. You had a one night stand, man. Just cut it out. Yeah, I had a one night stand for both sentimental and political reasons. Please stop. Like, you're being cringe. Anyway, yeah, cringy bisexuals. But yeah, that's what partner has that feel of something that is of if not like actively gay, certainly appealing to the alphabet people. Or trying to appeal to the alphabet people. I don't know, maybe lover is trying to appeal to readers of romance novels. I don't know, maybe that's worse. It's probably not worse. Nah, that's not fair. It's not worse. Ansem says, what fate should befall children born out of adulterous relationships? Your question, of course. Not abortion, clearly. Should they be taken by the state? No. Ideally... No, first of all, no children should be taken by the state. That's a horrifically abusive thing to say. um, they should be cared for by their family. By which I mean the if possible, without causing irreparable harm to the home and to the relationship. This should ideally be raised by the married couple. Say dad cheats, has a child with another woman. That child should be raised by the dad and his wife. If possible, if this will not if this will not permanently damage the relationship. I think that is the ideal outcome. Again, not practical in all cases, certainly, but that is the ideal outcome. What if the mom's also married? Depends. It depends, and honestly, it should be dealt with amicably rather than going to courts, because I think family courts are a really dangerous intrusion of the state into what should be the realm of the autonomous private zone, if you will. It would seem weird to make a man raise a child that isn't his. Well, he shouldn't be made to. Again, if he's being made to, he shouldn't be. But he, ideally, again, it would be best if he were willing to, put it that way. Yeah, Grace, good point about the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Maybe it doesn't make you gay. Okay, or maybe being a fan of the team makes you gay, but the cheerleaders are there to keep you straight. I don't know. It's getting late. It's getting late and getting weird. Imsim says, seems like a mess. Oh, yeah, of course it's a mess. Look. Any situation, even if the situation is overall good, that results from a grave sin is going to be messy, is going to have these nasty problems that need to be dealt with and compensated for. So, yeah, of course it's going to be a mess. Yeah, of course it is. But the mess was started not by the child being conceived, but by the adultery. Like that's what started the mess. So that's what's ultimately at fault, and that's what needs to be compensated for and corrected and fixed and stuff. Yeah, I maybe in some cases they ought to be removed, but I do think that I agree with the church that adultery can and should be forgiven and moved past. Excuse me, assuming both spouses are willing to do that. Again, I don't think that. Well, certainly, I agree with the church that adultery is in no way a grounds for divorce. Not at all. Not even grounds for. Not even by itself grounds for separation. So no. Yeah, adultery is certainly a heinously grave sin, but it is far from unforgivable. Yeah, I mean, sure, it's a hard ask, but again, it is better than the alternative of orphanages, essentially. And sure, state-run orphanages are way worse than the hypothetical, but practically speaking, non-existent church orphanages. Like, there was a time when orphanages were exclusively the domain of the church, because the church was the only ones who cared about children, basically. And those were the days, so to speak, but also the fact that orphanages were so direly needed was a worse thing for society, certainly. It's certainly better than the extended family. Certainly better than the like state-sponsored foster system. Extended family is a better option, probably. In most practical circumstances, extended family is probably better. And that goes for like the children who are abused. That goes for children who are neglected, whatever. Extended family is probably the best option for a lot of those cases too. Anyway. Okay. Oh man, you guys are still going, but it's midnight. I gotta go. I got stuff I still gotta do. I gotta take plywood in, get stuff ready for, in case the The hurricane comes at us with a vengeance. Anyway, feel free to continue chatting if you wanna come into the Discord and have continue this here. I'll be around. I'll be jumping around in there. So hopefully I'll see you there. Otherwise, hurricane pending, unless we're still out of power or something. We'll see you next Tuesday. I should be back there and then. We'll see how bad the storm is. I might even have time to record a video or two over my extended weekend. But who knows? In any case, thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful evening. And remember, especially now with the storm coming, don't be safe. Be well, and more importantly, be good. Good night.